Full time, Arsenal 5-0 Leeds victor Gyokores marked his home debut with a brace as we ran riot against Leeds United to make it 2 wins from 2 at the start of the Premier League campaign. We found ourselves 2-0 ahead at the break thanks to a Jerian Timber header and Bukayo Saka's injury time strike which took the game away from the visitors, and not long after the restart Gyokores showed his pace and power to get himself off the mark in style. Timber then added his second and our fourth of the afternoon as our set-piece prowess came to the fore again, before in stoppage time 15-year-old debutant Max Daumann won a penalty which Gyokores hammered home. While Mikel Arteta would have been disappointed to see Martin Odegaard and Saka depart through injury, our impressive attacking display will have delighted him, especially with Gyokores waiting in the wings. The opening home game of the season is always a vibrant and colorful affair with a packed house excited to see their heroes in action, but the atmosphere was only boosted pre-match when Gyokores was presented to the crowd for the first time, moments after being announced as a gunner. Roared on by a full house, we started well with Odegaard in the thick of the action on his 200th Arsenal appearance and he shot into the side netting early on, before some excellent pressing from a Leeds goal kick led to Martin Zubimendi nudging the ball into Gyokeres' path, but the striker stabbed wide. Having won the Man of the Match award in our win at Manchester United 6 days earlier, David Raya was again required to be on top form in the 20th minute when he instinctively pushed over a Pascal Struijk header from the visitors' first corner of the evening. However, on 34 minutes we had our first opportunity from a flag kick, and yet again we made it count. Declan Rice whipped it into a crowded box and Timber watched it all the way before guiding the delivery into the far corner, leaving Lucas Perry in the Whites' goal with no chance. From that point onwards, Leeds' 14-game wait for a win on our turf never looked like ending on this particular day, even when Odegaard's double century ended prematurely as he was forced off with a shoulder problem. Saka took over the captaincy duties, and in first-half stoppage time he led by example by grabbing our second. Once again our pressing caused Leeds issues and Rice nicked the ball off a defender, allowing Zubimendi to slip it to Timber. He then played a precise pass into the path of Saka, who thrashed the ball past a static Perry to get off the mark for the campaign and hand us a nice cushion going into the break. Sutton's predictions: Arsenal vs Leeds United. Is Arsenal vs Leeds on TV? Channel, live stream and kick-off time for Premier League clash. Arsenal welcome Leeds United to the Emirates Stadium for their first home game of the Premier League season, but what time does the action kick off and how can fans tune into it? Arsenal play host to Leeds United at the Emirates Stadium with both clubs having made a winning start to the new Premier League season. The Gunners claimed all 3 points in their uninspiring 1-0 win over Manchester United at Old Trafford on opening weekend, while Leeds triumphed by the same scoreline against Everton. Mikel Arteta's side turned in a performance far from what Gunners fans have become accustomed to at the home of their historic rivals, but that didn't matter as they got off the mark at the first time of asking. Likewise, the Whites were arguably a touch fortunate to overcome the Toffees after James Tarkowski's contentious handball in the box was punished by Lucas Nmeka, who scored from the spot. The newly promoted side will now face their first big test of the season against a club they haven't beaten in over 22 years. Mirror Football are on hand with all of the vital information ahead of this evening's Saturday night football clash. I didn't feel Arsenal's performance was there against Manchester United, but at least they found a way to win. All the talk in this game is going to be about Victor Gyokores and whether he can get off the mark. There was such an overreaction after he didn't score against Manchester United last weekend. He has been written off as a dud in some quarters already. That's the modern game though, you can get written off after your first hour of playing in the Premier League. Not for me though, I think he will come good. Leeds played with such intensity against Everton, although the penalty they